When you discovered the law of attraction, you started to believe anything was possible. Life got better, much better. Now you want more, but it's not working. That's where the Manifest It Now show comes in. If you've been waiting for someone who can teach you the practical application to manifest quicker and easier while having more, turn the volume up, because the dynamic duo, Cassie Parks and Ginny Gain, are ready to teach you how to live the law of attraction like they do. It's time to laugh and learn.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Manifest It Now. I'm here with Cassie Parks.
And I'm here with Ginny Gain.
Our topic for today, we're going to talk about when should I hire a coach?
Yes.
In case you've ever been wondering, Cassie and I both have had coaches. And obviously, everyone we work with has had coaches because we're coaching them. But it's a question that comes up. Yeah, like we talk about it with them. We talk about with our clients how they have been asking themselves the questions before. And so we wanted to share that information with you.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, hiring a coach is like the best thing ever. I think.
It is. It's pretty awesome. Maybe we're a little bit biased, but...
Right. So fun. So what else are you excited about, Jen?
I'm really excited actually about things manifesting for clients and with our listeners. I want to share, we've had so many amazing posts on our page and reviews on iTunes, and it's just, we love this stuff. We love hearing from you guys. So if you have stories, please share them. We love knowing how we're connecting with you and touching your lives. And it helps us feel that too, just be connected to that. So I wanted to share this one post that someone made. So she's like, I feel like I have to share this. I've been listening to you and Cassie for about a month now and really been working on myself and my story of my future self. But something happened today that I think you guys would appreciate and understand more, which I love that. My grandson was having an awards ceremony today, and I didn't think I was going to get to go because it was such short notice when we found out about it. But I decided to manifest it and let it go. And everything worked out this morning that she was able to go to the awards ceremony. Yay. But that's not the best part. When I was leaving, I was thanking my higher power for bringing that into my life. And I said something I don't think I've ever said before. I said, I'm excited about life. And as soon as those words left my lips, I just started to cry because those words have never come out of my mouth with that level of sincerity. I like my new me. I like my future self. You and Cassie have helped me on this journey in so many ways, and I thank you both for that. You guys are awesome. And I read that and my heart just melts because that it's so touching. It is so when you first have that feeling about your life, those two super powerful things, I like me is so huge, and I like my life. And I know I'm simplifying, but those two realizations, I cannot underestimate the power of those. That's why we do what we do. And it's so exciting to hear that that's happening in the lives of our listeners. So I'm very, very excited about that. And thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I also love hearing that. It's kind of funny. It's not funny, but it's, we don't always, we just kind of randomly go to the reviews when we feel inspired. And so, and it's I think the last time I maybe went, maybe not, I don't know. And we'll share. And so it was really fun to hear you read it now. And when you read it to me before, just super fun.
Yeah. What else are you excited about, Cass?
Well, we talked about this, and so I'm going to be excited about it because I am excited about it, that we're going to cross the 1 million downloads mark by the end of the year.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
It is so exciting.
Yeah.
And what's exciting, I'm going to tell the whole background because I think it we get to choose.
Okay, don't embarrass me too much, Cass.
Oh, no. I'm going to tell. So, Jenny was ooh, again, inspiration. Let me go see how many downloads we do have, right? Because it's not, that's not the, that's not how we gauge how successful we are.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's by getting those reviews. It's by some of the posts that have gotten posted on our page recently and in the group, right? And seeing that and hearing that, or getting on the phone with one of our clients who maybe hasn't posted that, but then hires us and is like, oh my gosh, everything changed so much just from the 3 months living or listening to you. And that's why I hired you, you know? That's how we measure, and how much fun we're having and how much we enjoy what we're doing, right?
Absolutely. And I think it's a good example too to measure your sex, guys. Measure
We're having
your
some
success.
fun slips today.
Measure your success by how it feels. When you make that your measuring stick, you're going to move so much faster. It's going to feel so much better. Anyways, keep going, Cass.
So today Jen was like, I'm just going to look at how many downloads we have. Cool. We haven't done this in a really long time, I feel like. And you're like, oh, yay. Well, we're like at, almost 900,000. And, then it was a little bit like, will we cross it by the end of the year? And then we're like, wait, we had all those downloads where our previous show was that like all got wiped out. And now we have all these. Like, of course, we're going to hit 1 million by the end of the year. Right?
Yeah.
And the going back to the feeling, like we know that. We don't have to be like, well, it's not on paper, it's not this, it's not that. Like we have a choice. Like we could wait until this official counter counts the 1 million, or we're like, no, we get that. And we're going to own that and we're going to celebrate it and we're going to be in it because it's fun and that feels good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about. 1 million downloads. Like we didn't have a goal, right? Because that wasn't going to be the measure of our success. And so I'm sure that I thought we would get to 1 million. And like, it's also super fun because I just didn't think about it.
Yeah. It wasn't a conscious thing.
Yeah.
Wow, we are celebrating. So you guys celebrate with us.
Yes.
You're all a part of it. Thank you.
I was just about to say, thank you for being a part of it and a part of our journey, because that's what makes it special. It's the co-creation. It's the fun. It's the experience that we get to have bringing you guys this show. And if you love it, definitely post on our page or definitely leave us an iTunes review so that somebody else can be inspired to join the party and have their life changed like you have.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we have a lot to cover today. We have a lot of points about when someone should hire a coach. So let's start with the first one. And this might seem obvious, but if you find yourself wanting something bigger, like wanting something, an experience that's more than what you have now. And I think the key in this, because maybe someone's going to say, well, obviously, we always want more things, is that you're aware of it. You're aware like, okay, I get that I'm putting this out and I want this other experience. And I am very clear that I want something different than I have now. I think it's the clarity around that that makes a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I have two things. So just a quick example of this. I always use this one. It's a lot of times people come to me when they are, they're really good at manifesting the parking spots, but they want to manifest the new car to go in the parking spot.
Yeah.
It's like that next level, that bigger thing, right? Like I've kind of mastered this. I want that next level. And the other is that nothing has to be wrong, and nothing has to be wrong to want bigger. And I think sometimes people who are using LOA, they feel like I want something more, like I might not be appreciating what I have. And I don't think that's it. Most of the time, that's not it. Most of the time, it's this calling in your soul for this bigger thing. Right. And it might show up as the car, like the new car, like that might be the words you can put to it. And so it can feel like, well, I have a car and some people don't have a car and I should just appreciate where I am. And some people can get in that back and forth, but often that car it always represents a bigger life. And so often that's just the way that you can put words to your soul's calling for something more, there's something that you can't necessarily define underneath it, but it comes out as, hey, I want that brand new car for that parking spot. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. And there's everything right with wanting bigger and next level.
Yeah. I love this. I'll just give another example of that in the business sense. I remember talking with my brother at one point, and he was like, okay, yeah, I want a, multi-million-dollar business. And I was at the point in my journey that I was like, why would you care about that much money? I obviously wasn't in my good money story. And his answer was, well, I want to become the person, I want to be that man that has that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I want. Like, that's where I'm just always focused on being that person. But those two go hand in hand. Your desires, you're called to your desires in order to grow and step in. Like what Cass is talking about, your soul's calling, that's the growth of you as a human being. And that's why we have desires. That's why we have these external things we want. It's not to get the thing, but it is, but it's who you become along the way. There's a connection there. So if you're feeling that, that's a great time to acknowledge, okay, maybe it's time to hire a coach.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Just so you know, Cass, Lisa and I manifested an amazing parking spot last night at Whole Foods. Front row, right in front of the door, just swung right around. I have my little car right now and just fit right in. Lisa was even like, whoa, you manifested that one good.
That's awesome. I love it.
But it's fun. Like even those little times, like every time I pull into a great parking spot, I'm like, I manifest amazing parking spots. Like I don't stop telling that story just because I know it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it.
All right. Why don't you share number 2?
All right. So number 2 is when you catch yourself in the how-what cycle.
Cassie is a great example of this. I'm like, what does that even mean?
And actually, like, it generally starts with the what, right? So it's like, so I'm going to put this in scripting so it becomes super obvious, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, I'm in a script. Okay, so what do I do to have a better life? What, right? Script. Okay, how do I script? Script the life that you want to live. Okay, what do I script? Script the things you want. How do I script those things? Do I do this? Do I do that? Script what you want. What? Like what exactly should I script, right? So when you find yourself like...
I'm just dying over here because it happens all the time and it's with so much fun love. It's just, and people who are listening, they're going to hear this and be like, oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah. And so often you find yourself like you go seek that answer, right? It's like, okay, I want something new. What should I do? Scripting. Okay. I go search scripting. Okay. Scripting. And then how do I script? Oh, okay. And then I go search for how to script, but then I get the answer like, okay, you script it like it's in the past. Okay. But what do I script? Like, and so
what, how,
right? And you're seeking that answer constantly, but you're in a loop of it, right? Because you're not taking the action because something's not clear. Mm-hmm. And that's just a sign that, for me, I know that when you hire a coach, like so much more opens up because when there's going to be someone on your journey with you, like every step of the way, when you make that commitment to say, let me take someone along who's going to be my eyes and my ears and my cheerleader and my support, like what is possible, what you're willing to see, what you're willing to open to, what you're willing to want just expands exponentially because you can handle it, because your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul knows there's going to be support. And so if someone is caught in this cycle, it's likely because you probably do need a coach. Like you're not able to go, you want to go, it's again, that calling to go bigger, but doing it on your own, there's a part of you that holds back to that because what you want is really big and that sometimes takes support.
That leads perfectly into our next one, is having someone in your corner, having that support, having that cheerleader. So if you find yourself like, I'm the only one, if you're feeling the sense of like aloneness, like I'm the only one in here, I'm the only one that believes in me, like, and especially in kind of this LOA world, sometimes we are the only ones that we can talk to yourself about this, or you're reading stuff and you don't have anyone to share that with, and you have no way to co-create with anyone else on this. Having a coach is that you can even, that it's going to stand in your corner and co-create with you, pulling you up to that next level, holding that space for you, is hugely powerful. Like if you're feeling aloneness in your life.
Absolutely. And it's hugely powerful too, because they hold the vision, right? And so you can grow to that vision, which can, when you're in it, can sometimes be hard to hold the vision and be in it. But when you have a coach that knows the vision, knows where you're going, knows what you want, like they can coach you through that while still holding the vision, because they're not in it.
There's no emotional attachment there. The other part about having that kind of fits into this is I literally care about my client's success as probably like just under the amount that they care about it, right? And no one else in your life is usually like that. Like maybe your partner is close to that, but your friends, like, yes, they're going to support you and care about what you want. But when you have a coach, they are like rooting for you and they are on that vibrational level. They expect your success and they want it like you want it. And feeling that is so, it's amazing on both sides. Like I'm talking about from a coach's perspective. It's amazing to feel that excitement with someone. The other, I'm probably saying more of this because it's just fresh. Last week, one of my clients manifested the job she wanted, and I was so excited for her experience of that. And like it was an equal excitement of that. And so that's what happens, and that's a part of the magic of having that person on your side.
It is. I have a fun confession. It was in our either last week's recording or the recording before. I got a text, and like I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb when we're recording, but they still come through the computer. And I always try not to look, but I saw like something with my client and I could put together like the words, like enough like seeped in that I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And I totally I was like, oh, I want to talk about this right now. And I was like, no, just like go back to what we were talking about, because and then I got off the phone and I was so excited to just like celebrate that, because it's true. Like you get so excited for that. And I think it's, there's a magic to that excitement, because as a coach, we know the work that went into that, right? We know that the intention, the focus, the effort that went into creating that experience for our clients.
The growth has had to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next point is how you know when you're ready to hire a coach is when you're open to accept guidance. So this one for me, it kind of came up because I've been in places in my life where I'm like, I know the way. I know what's best for me. I know what I need to do. And there's no way a coach could help me from that place, because I'm not even open to that. I'm not even open to receiving feedback or guidance. So it does not help. It's essential that you are open to receive feedback, that you're willing to let go of being right in order to go to the next level. I think that's a part of it. And you will know that if you catch yourself saying like, well, I know the right way, or like pushing against what someone's saying instead of just being curious or being open about it, then you're probably not ready for that.
Very true. And that's as in like being ready is like a super important step to hiring a coach. Like it's not, if you check any other box, but you're not ready and you're not open to feedback and you're not willing to share and be guided, then it's not the right time because it's not gonna do a lot of good.
Right. It's just going to create a lot of, create more resistance because you're trying to justify that you're right all the time.
Right. And you stay in that story when you do that, right?
Right. Though it is some of my favorite clients are the ones that we have to have those strong talks of like firm love. And I'm saying, okay, this is what's happening here. Those are pretty powerful too, but that usually happens right away. And in the first couple sessions, if people do show up like that.
Mm-hmm. And I like, those are some of my favorite too. And I will have the conversation where I say like, this isn't, choose, let's open and let's do this, or let's choose to not have a coaching, relationship because it's not doing either of us any good. If all you want to do is come with the reasons why you're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And our next one is when you are at rock bottom. I'm going to let Cass start with this.
Okay. And so rock bottom can mean a lot of different things. For a lot of my clients that have come at rock bottom, it's when, there's no money, there's no, nothing is going right. And they're just like tired of it. Right. And rock bottom is that place where it feels like it's all falling apart. So something has to change. Like something has to be different. You have to do something different. And that's a great space to manifest from. Like it is an awesome place to manifest from. You want to talk about why, Jen?
Yes. I wanted to say to another point to this is like when you're out of plans, like when you're like, I don't know what else I can do here.
Oh, yes. Right. So this could look like you've tried a lot of things. So maybe you've tried scripting on your own. Maybe you've tried manifesting money. Maybe you've tried to manifest a new job. Maybe you've tried to do whatever, but you're out of like ways to try it more.
Yeah. And you're ready to give up doing it the way you've always done it.
Yeah.
And I love how like all of these points are tying together. I'm sure you guys can hear that. They are all leading to one key point. But go ahead, explain, Cass, like why that's so important, why that's a powerful place to come from.
Oh, because you let go. Like rock bottom it's
surrender.
Like literally, it's surrender. You've hit, I always just think about like, probably not what everyone loves, but like, if that elevator were just to fall and hit the bottom, like there's nowhere else to go. Like there's no fear like of the falling, right? There's no trying to hold on. Because you're already there. It's already at the bottom. And so really the bottom is equal to a blank page most times.
Yeah.
And so you're so wide open. Oh my gosh. I just think about one of my clients that came at rock bottom and she is so
killing
amazing.
It. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's so awesome. Yeah.
And rock bottom, when we were discussing it earlier, doesn't need to mean like everything in your life is at rock bottom. It can mean like I'm done trying here. I'm done trying to manifest a relationship. I'm done trying to manifest more money because I'm at the bottom. I don't know what else to do. I'm done trying to lose weight or whatever it is. It can be in one area. You could be thriving in your career and you could be at rock bottom in your relationship.
Or trying to build your business. Like that was me, right? I was doing great in my career. And I was at rock bottom trying to build my business.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool because it's kind of in the same area, but different.
Yeah. And you can totally thrive in one and not in the other. I mean, you can obviously thrive in all of them with coaching, but it's not uncommon to be thriving in one area when you're at rock bottom in another.
Yeah. I was going to say, and then our next point is if you're someone that sees, like if you see the same thing showing up all the time, so you can kind of see how this is connected to the last couple, but when you're like, oh, I manifested this same guy over and over and over again. Oh, I manifested the job with the same level of income, or I manifested the same noisy neighbors again and again and again. You're focused on the stuff, like if you're thinking about the external stuff, that's how it's showing up. But if that's something you're noticing, then it might be time to hire a coach because maybe you can't even see why you're doing that. And so getting some support in that area will help you make that change.
Absolutely. That's a big one. Because I like to describe it as like you can see the results of the pattern, but you can't see the pattern.
Right.
Right. And so you can see like, oh man, yeah, the same guy is showing up, but you think you're doing it different.
Yes.
And so you can't see what's actually the same and creating the same thing, but you recognize like, I keep getting noisy neighbors. I keep dating like the same guy 3 months in, like first date, I think it's totally different. 3 months in, it's the same guy in a different body. Right. Yeah.
Such a good one. You also might want to hire a coach when you just have no idea where to start.
Yes.
Like I've had some amazing clients come in and they're like, I'm brand new to LOA. I'm so excited about it. Where do I start? I'm like,
Such an
okay,
awesome
let's
place.
go.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Totally. Because you're so open and like the whole world is a possibility. And oftentimes that's like we haven't built up stories of what we're not manifesting and that it's not working. So it's also a great time to hire a coach.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're new to LOA, that's an awesome time to hire a coach. Yeah.
And then you want to go with the next one, Cass?
Yeah, I'm going to do this one. I don't know if it's on order, but when your manifesting to-do list is 3 days long.
Yeah, I love this one.
And so this means when you literally have this list of all the things you should be doing to manifest everything you want, and it would take you like 3 days or at least 24 hours to complete because you're so in the doing all these activities. And yet, and most people, I have yet to meet somebody and they could be out there who has such a long manifesting to-do list and is getting results. Like most people aren't getting results. And the reason is because you're doing all of those things to try and make it happen versus becoming the person. And so if you have a really long list and you start to feel guilty about that and also frustrated that things aren't happening, that is definitely a time to call a coach because they're going to help you step by step. That's one of the benefits of a coach is you don't have to figure out the next step.
Oh my gosh. That's actually what people going through Skills Camp just said. They're like, it was so nice not having to worry about like what to do next. I just like did what was in front of me. And and I remember that same feeling with like when I was when I have a personal trainer, like when someone's training me, I'm like, oh, I love not thinking about my workout. I just show up. Yeah. It's the exact same feeling. The freedom of that.
It's so freeing because you don't have to wonder like, is this going to work? Because you just trust the coach and you trust the process. And so it's so freeing, like the energy that's freed up because you just do the next assignment or you just do the next thing, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. That freeing, when we stop asking that question, is this working? It opens up so much. And that's very easy to do when you're with a coach.
Right.
And ultimately, all of this stuff, all these points we're talking about are leading to the kind of pinnacle of like a feeling inside of you. You will know when it's the right time. And sometimes that's the feeling you're aware of. You're just like, this feels like the time. And then it probably incorporates everything we talked about.
Yeah, all of those things have probably been building, or there's some of those, but this thing is like, it's time. It's I need to do this. I want to do this. Yeah. And so if that is what's happening inside of you, take that leap. Do it,
It's totally worth the risk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know, it's so amazing.
Well, that was amazing. I love talking about that.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah, we want to hear all of your good stories about how you feel and when you do hire a coach, like share with us on the page or wherever, because I think we both just believe in coaching because it's so powerful. And
absolutely. And it doesn't have to be us. We are supportive of whoever you're working with. And I think it's funny. Sometimes my clients will be like, oh, I listened to this other podcast, like kind of timidly. And I'm like, guys, it's okay.
Right?
Yeah. So definitely celebrate that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, have an amazing week, everyone. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Go be awesome.
Thank you for joining us on the Manifest It Now show, where you learn how to leverage the law of attraction to manifest your dreams. Now that you're inspired, share the love and review us on iTunes. While you're there, remember to subscribe.